And thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock and we want to begin tonight with parents pushing back against punishment they say caused their daughter serious burns. In fact, they say this happened during practices at Warren Central. And tonight we've learned she wasn't the only child who was hurt. We want to warn you though tonight, the families provided us more photos of the injuries that we are including in our coverage tonight. Our Logan Gay joins us live from the newsroom. Logan, what's the update?
Yes, Scott, I spoke with two different families, both of them with daughters on the Warren Central majorette team. They say multiple girls on the team are injured with burns after being forced to do bear crawls on the track in the heat.
She was loving the first few weeks of high school, and now she's not.
Travis Piegler says he couldn't believe his eyes last week when he picked his 14-year-old daughter Trinity up from Warren Central High School and looked down and saw her hands looking like this, burned and blistered.
I'm a former 82nd Airborne Division soldier, jumping out of airplanes and all that, trained air assault. My hands has never looked the way her hands look.
Trinity is a freshman on the majorette team. She told her parents she and her teammates were forced to do bear crawls on the black asphalt track during practice. She says she was told to do extra because of her grades.
I really just want to know what made you think that that was okay on an 86 degree, 87, 9, whatever degree weather day, that it was okay to have them doing bear crawls.
A week later, and she's still in the hospital recovering.
This isn't discipline. It's child abuse. When you send your kids off to school, you expect for them to come home safe.
Ronisha Banks says she's going through the same trauma with her daughter, also a freshman on the majorette team. She shared these pictures with 13 News of second-degree burns on her daughter's hands and blisters on her feet.
I was livid.
The injuries now impacting her daughter in the classroom as well.
She can't do schoolwork the way she needs to.
Both families say they're hoping to bring awareness to these kinds of dangers and are looking for accountability and changes from the school.
We don't want to see no parent have to go through what we're going through right now.
When stuff happens like this, we have to stand up.
A spokesperson with Warren Central High School sent a statement to the 13 newsroom that reads in part, "We are taking this matter very seriously, conducting an active investigation, and remain in close contact with students and families to support their recovery."
Ronisha Banks says she reported what happened to the Indiana Department of Child Services. The Piegler family have hired a lawyer but have not decided yet if they'll take legal action. In the newsroom, Logan Gay, 13 News.
There have been just a few spotty showers out there this evening. Radar for the most part quiet. The one exception, areas north and east of Indianapolis still have a little bit of light rain falling from Mount Pleasant up to Winchester. This will continue to fall apart as the main weather system starts to push toward the east coast. Still close enough tomorrow for some clouds, maybe a little mist or drizzle to kick off our Thursday. Morning temperatures in the 60s. From that morning mist and drizzle and clouds to clouds and some sunshine and highs in the 70s tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. Tonight, Indiana's Attorney General is warning city leaders to keep their hands off the Marion County Sheriff's budget. Todd Rokita said blocking sheriff's cooperations with federal immigration authorities could break Indiana law. Our Alex Almanza tonight shows us how council members have now responded.
Inside the City-County building, the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee took up the 2026 budget, with the Attorney General's warning hanging over the room. A letter from Todd Rokita to the council this week reads in part, if the council attempts to place such restrictions on the sheriff's cooperation with federal authorities, I will consider taking legal action. Rokita argues state law prevents local governments from interfering with cooperation between the sheriff and federal immigration authorities. It follows a September 3rd committee meeting where Sheriff Kerry Forrestal confirmed Marion County is hosting ICE detainees, sometimes upwards of 100, under a federal arrangement. The county is reimbursed $75 a day for each detainee, money that goes into the general fund. It all sparked criticism from community groups and led some counselors to question whether the jail should continue cooperating with ICE. Counselors say the AG is misrepresenting their role in the budget process.
For the AG to think that we were cutting the sheriff's office is absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I voted no because there are funding issues at our sheriff's office.
Counselor Krista Carlino says the no means there's more work to be done outside the budget.
I don't feel like threats from the AG are going to do much to help our problems here. In fact, I wish the Attorney General would help us secure the funds that the state owes us and do the work there so that we can serve those individuals who we house in bed here in Marion County.
Some, like Councilor Michael Paul Hart, voted no, but not over ICE.
So there was concerns that I have with the IMPD budget on police morale. Like, the last thing we want to do is lose any police, and the one thing the police chief asked for was dollars to make sure that he could get new cars for his officers.
13 News has reached out to Rakita's office for an updated statement, but we did not receive that in time for this newscast. In terms of the public safety budget, that now heads to the City County Council for their October 6th meeting, where it will be voted on. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
So this discussion here in our state comes as investigators in Texas search for a motive in a shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. Police tonight are confirming one detainee was killed, 2 others injured. They were in a transport van at the time. Their identities have not been released. No ICE agents were hurt. Officers say they found the shooter dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, according to the FBI, a bullet found near the shooter had some messages that were anti-ICE in nature. He called the attack targeted violence. The mayor of Dallas tonight is asking for calm and patience during the investigation.
Help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country. And that's why I'd ask you to pray for our nation. There's a lot going on right now in our country.
Tonight, police are saying the shooter fired multiple rounds from a nearby roof or elevated position down onto the entryway of the field office. This is the 3rd shooting targeting an ICE facility in Texas this year. Tonight, a man is behind bars and now charged, accused of killing his co-worker. And now we are seeing how police connected the dots. I want to show you the scene last month at a UPS facility. This is on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Officers discovered 22-year-old Lorenzo Murray shot in the back. Some security video showed the suspect running from the scene. Police tonight say several employees pointed to a possible suspect, 28-year-old Paris Mall, saying they arrived at the UPS facility on a bus. Police tracked his Indigo card and some phone data to help figure out his whereabouts before the gunfire. They say Mall targeted Murray because of previous disagreements.
It's incredibly frustrating anytime that we see a temporary emotion lead to a permanent consequence. In a situation like this, conflict resolution is key. We cannot point a firearm and pull the trigger at somebody in anger.
Mall made his first court appearance this morning. He's due back in court in November. Well, Indiana may be a popular spot for companies looking to build data centers, but building data centers has not been popular with Hoosiers.
I hope that we can see that this is not what's best for our community, this data center.
And that is something we have heard a lot in other communities recently. But in this particular case, it's in Morgan County, east of Monrovia. Back in February, commissioners approved a rezoning request for nearly 400 acres. And now they want to expand on that by another 150 acres. Christopher Lamberson is a farmer near the proposed site. He's been telling us he's worried about its effect on this area.
I really think we kind of sold ourselves out. Maybe we're discouraged about corn and soy. We're discouraged about maybe not bringing in as much money as our neighbors or something like that. But this is definitely not the answers, the data centers. There's better business for Indiana.
Commissioner Kenny Hale says he supports the data center, calling it what's best for Morgan County. The Morgan County Plan Commission has a special meeting Monday to consider this expanded rezoning request. Residents have been telling us they plan to protest outside. Remember, we just saw Google pull the plug on a massive data center right here in Indianapolis after fierce opposition from residents. Lamberson told us today they watched that situation closely. In fact, he says it taught them to keep the pressure on.